Hi there. I'm Girl Writes What. That's my online handle. I'm a blogger. I blog about masculinity, gender equality, and anti-feminism. When you think about the kind of life that many men end up having, it really says something about the disregard we hold men in, that we can chain them to that kind of obligation without providing them any kind of benefit of choice or freedom. I mean, we have a word for that, and that word is slavery. Give it another couple decades, and that's where men will be.
The MRM, the men's rights movement, is just sort of a group of individuals and organizations that advocate for raising awareness of discrimination issues that men and boys face in society. I kind of stumbled across a Voice for Men, and I stuck around and did a whole bunch of reading, and then I stayed.
My name is Paul Elam. I'm the founder and publisher of avoiceformen.com. Domestic violence and rape and false allegations happen to be 3 of the 4 areas where the public has been most successfully deceived by the feminist establishment about the nature of those problems. These people don't want these issues to be heard. I know that sounds maybe a little tinfoil, but it's true. The men's movement was a boys' club. The public at large, who might have looked at a face like mine, a white male at my age, and judged, okay, well, here we go. But the women showed up the moment they were invited. I feel fantastic about the fact that a diverse range of people are gateways, including women, into the men's movement. People like Karen Strawn and Janet Bloomfield.
My name is Janet Bloomfield, and I am having my hair and makeup professionally done. I will be attending the International Conference on Men's Issues, and I would like to look as pretty as I can, and I don't know how to do this, so I have a very lovely artist who is helping me. Yeah.
We got her. She's gonna look gorgeous. She didn't need much help.
Oh, you're so sweet. I felt like I was being indoctrinated into feminism by this misrepresentation of male power. Men have this incredible sense of guilt that they're carrying around from rape culture. This idea that they're all rapists, that women are all afraid of them. But the standard of what constitutes rape is now so low that virtually all sexual encounters constitute rape. I'm sorry, but how much marital rape have you committed? Have you ever had sex with your husband while drunk? Like I have all the time.
It's good.
Oh, well, congratulations. You're a rapist too. The standards are so absurdly low. And what's actually going to happen is it's going to get flipped around and turned on women. You can count on men to start charging women with rape now.
The reason I wanted to have this conference is simply because we need the dialogue about these issues, and we need to be able to have that dialogue outside the ideological lens of feminism.
Welcome to the International Men's Conference at the VFW St. Clair Shores.
As most of us who have kept abreast of events surrounding the conference know, there has been some harsh criticism of some people in this movement, myself among them. Allegations of misogyny, allegations of racism, allegations of homophobia, allegations of supporting rape and other forms of violence against women. I suppose that's to be expected.
Boys who are failures to launch, who aren't doing well in school, notice that not many girls are interested in them. But they have an easy escape. Video porn, 250 million options. Why, in an age of equality, do we have male-only draft registration? Why, when nothing had a greater impact on women's freedom than birth control pill for women, do we have none for men?
Our next presenter is one of the most prominent women in the men's rights movement. Put your hands together for Karen Strawn.
All right. Excellent. My name is Karen, and I am an anti-feminist.
This conference is extremely important to be able to come out in the open, to meet everybody, to form bonds, and have our chance to talk.
For me, like a lot of others, Karen Strawn is a really important person. A lot of people who are given a voice when they're able to come speak here might not be comfortable bringing those issues up. It really truly is an international conference that's here. People came here from India.
There's so much time to interact and talk. In fact, yesterday night, I slept only for 3 hours because it's so exciting to talk and share and feelings.
These are very important issues that the speakers were discussing, and I believe that society at large needs to hear this message.
We don't care. We don't give a shit. We women in this movement. You can say whatever the hell you want about us. Call us misogynist, rape enabling, anything. You call me what you want. I am an anti-feminist, and I don't give a shit. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Excellent talk.
It was okay?
Yeah, very good.
I really didn't have much prepared. I just kind of winged it.
Fist bump. Fist bump.
All right. Gonorrhea. They call me the gateway drug to the MRM. I get 75, 100 messages a day. They are just thank you so much because you articulate what I've always sort of known and wanted to say. I've heard from men who said that watching one of my videos was the first time they cried in 20 years. Hi. We decided we wanted to do a blog talk radio show with just women. No, you don't want to hear me sing. You think you want that, but you don't.
Sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows, and everything is wonderful. That's wonderful when we're together. Oh, God. Karen looks like she's just been raped.
We have honey badger merchandise. This is a logo that I dreamed up, a target with a honey badger head, so that the feminists would know where to point the gun. I don't know if you can see, a lot of the merchandise has my face on it, which is a little disconcerting. Since A Voice for Men came on the scene, we've done nothing but make inroads into the mainstream media. And it's generally not nice things that they have to say about us.
I wrote an article several years ago called "If You See Jezebel in the Road, Run the Bitch Down." That was a response to an article at Jezebel.com that focused on the editors and writers and readers bragging about beating their boyfriends. And then I wrote a piece of satire that said, what if we just reverse the roles on this? What if I sit here and talk about bashing women or taking a woman that's hitting you and really beating her up real bad? If you won't hear men's pain, you will eventually hear their anger. There's nothing wrong with men being angry or with the women being angry.
And if anybody has an issue with the message simply because of how it's delivered, they can really go fuck themselves.
The incendiary language, the bad language, the cuss words, all of that is part of a strategy for getting attention. If the homeless man is just lying on the sidewalk, people just step over him and go on their way. The only way he can get anyone's attention is if he starts being perceived as a threat.
You start screaming and having tantrums because that's how you get attention. I mean, part of the reason people started reading Judgy Bitch is because I would write on stuff like Steubenville and say, why don't we have a drunk whore registry? Steubenville might only have been a year ago, but a year ago we had no mainstream media coverage. Our blogs were sort of nascent. A Voice for Men was established but still struggling. And yet after Steubenville, after Steubenville, all of a sudden, A Voice for Men's traffic jumped. So our evolution has been really rapid, but it's no different than any other civil rights movements. And to go back and pick things from like the Black Panthers, they're embarrassing, but they were so necessary. I mean, they strode through the streets with guns to challenge the Second Amendment.
I think maybe A Voice for Men plays Malcolm X to other people's Martin Luther King Jr., right? When you have one group of like-minded people who all share an opinion and a goal, it's typical for everybody's point of view to shift toward the more radical stance. And I don't want that to happen to us.
Are we going in the direction of softening? Absolutely. The satire is calculated. Some of the dark humor about some things is calculated.
It's not like there's some central, like Charlie's Angels with Charlie giving us all quiet orders. That's not to say that there aren't violent misogynists who call themselves MRAs. There certainly are. The sort of crazy, unhelpable ones got left behind and they're still there, where everyone else has moved on.
So I was reading 18 Reasons Not to Give Your Girl a Dime.
Who wrote that one, by the way? Did I? I'm not reading the article right now, but I would wager I would stand behind every word of it.
Because she's being an insufferable bitch. And this one, if she's grabbing your crotch while asking for money, that's kind of a cartoon of a caricature of
Are you
somebody.
kidding me? I appreciate that you may feel that some sort of caveat about that to put it in a new intellectual direction for an old piece of work might be in order.
This is from March of 2014.
Okay, March of 2014. Okay.
Because we are looked at as promoting rape, because we are looked at as rape apologists, because we are looked at as brutal rapey bastards, the idea of violence against us becomes palatable. When we started really promoting our conference, we got a lot of pushback. People were phoning and threatening not only to do violence against us, but against hotel staff and against other guests that had nothing to do with us. Threats escalated to death threats. So we ended up moving the venue to the VFW here.
I am familiar with a particular protester, and she showed up expecting to be admitted to this press conference because she said so. And no, I mean, that's the answer. No, sit down, child. No, I will talk.
I'm not coming here as a protester. I'm coming here as a journalist. I want to be able to photograph and document this. And I have the credentials they required, and I did at one point have a promise from them in an email that I would have those. They told me to get out, and the police themselves told me that protesters were to stay behind the police line. Janet Bloomfield, I think, is completely off kilter. She tweeted me not 20 minutes ago calling me a whore, calling me a bitch, calling my friends cunts. I feel that the women are misled. Voice for Men LLC is not incorporated. It was seized under tax forfeiture in 2013. The reason there's no protest here today is because the feminists who are here felt that it wasn't a constructive use for their time. They felt that it would negatively reinforce the attention that a Voice for Men seeks. All he wants is an audience, but I guess the feminists don't want to give him that audience, and I have to say I agree with it.
Women's voices have more authority than men's voices. For me, that's really incredibly important, is to get female allies. I met Jewel this morning, and how do you feel about what we're talking about, Jewel?
I think being friends and liking other women is an important thing. And if you guys have something in common and can learn from each other, that's good too.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know anything about this until you walked in today, and I was pretty wowed by it. So
yeah, that's what I can do. I can communicate to.
Yeah, and then I'm learning, and then I can, communicate it to my daughter and her generation. They need to know too. So
exactly.
To get it out there, I think is a good thing you're doing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.